Medicine? Oh, got away with my quarter! Did they hurt you, Herman? Well, they would have if I hadn't fought them off. There were 20 of them, and they kept yelling that they liked the Atari Lynx more. I went contendo on their asses. There's no law and order anymore. Oh, come on. Criminal intent and special victims unit are still on. Come on, Herman. It's not that bad. It is. Don't you see the filth, the crime, the fear everywhere? If I had my way, every litterbug, jaywalker, mugger, and liberal politician would be strung up. Yeah, because all of those are completely equal. What a nice man. Oh, and just to really emphasize how much of a colossal hypocrite and asshole that he is, his friendly boss walks off saying that he noticed one of the Game Boys is missing and it must have been shoplifted. The lovable Herman thinks to himself, "It wasn't shoplifted, you bitch pig. I took it because I deserve it, considering how little I get paid." And because our friendly Herman here has had a rough morning, he decides to help himself to another Game Boy. What are you going to do with two? Use a link cable between them and play a fighting game so you can feel good about beating yourself? And again, a guy with such a great personality as yours is only to beat yourself. Because he's a real hero of this, because there's no damn way that Nintendo would ever allow that prick to be the hero of the story. The true hero is Josh,
all of these guys with jail.
Sunglasses wearing friend Rick. Josh
that makes the videos only more clever than him, but yes.
Rick has spotted the ladies and knows where the real action is. Still, Josh drags him into the store, but Herman is too distracted by playing on his Game Boy to even notice the two asking him questions. How has this guy not been fired yet? Rick pulls them away so they can hit on the girls they apparently see. However, there's a tiny funk sound that gets Josh's attention. What was that? A random sound in a mall? What the hell? We cut back to the electronics store and holy crap, all this happened here and the only sound was thunk? Yes, an entire army of Super Mario Land characters have escaped from the Game Boy and tied Herman to the ground a la Gulliver's Travels. There's smoke billowing out of the Game Boy coming off the spaceship there, and nobody has noticed this yet? This is a mall, for crying out loud. The storefront is a big open doorway. Leading the charge of pixelated profligates is Tatanga, the mysterious Space Lord. Tatanga also happens to look like a rejected Muppet. Behold, my beloved Daisy, another world for me to conquer. Why would you want another one? For tax write-offs, of course. For you, Daisy, when you finally consent to marry me and become my queen rather than my prisoner, I want us to reign together over the greatest empire in the history of the universe. Being ruler of the universe is no one's cracked up to me. From so long on, coming to weave with people the whole time, you no longer get on thought. And Tatanga orders that Herman has served his purpose, and so they can kill him now. Hey, I like this Tatanga guy already. Daisy, in an attempt to save his life, suggests that they should interrogate him first. Herman asks how the hell this is possible. Tatanga's servant, Ponty, says that Tatanga used his psychic powers to span various dimensions in search of a new universe to conquer and found this world. They needed an anchor point through which they could travel into this universe, and Herman was chosen as the beacon. You are weak-willed, bitter, full of fear and hatred. Such as you are easily hypnotized by Tatanga, even across the dimensional void. You virtually invited Lord Tatanga here, and yet you did not have any refreshments or appetizers prepared. This displeases us. Wait a minute, some game designer cooked you up. You're just little bites of data from a chip. Something made you real, and now you would think you always were. But they fit. Therefore they have acceptance. It's very Cartesian. It is also more deserving of philosophical study than by a jackass who steals Game Boys from an electronics store. Herman says they're in the Wonder World Mall, and Tatanga orders his forces to go out and conquer the Wonder World. We cut to our heroes in the food court. Rick, how come when you're around girls you forget all about video games and baseball and everything else you usually like? Look at those excellent babes! Dude, of course you'll play video games when they've got lots of guns! The only way to bring them back in this case is if the games have location space! Oh, there you are. Say, how did karaoke night go? I don't want to talk about it. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Because you were the wind beneath my wings.
Walk on! The two are interrupted by the several game enemies that fly past them, leading to a splash page unveiling a friggin' war zone with the characters attacking everything in their path and causing explosions. As more of the mall is annihilated, Daisy tries to distract Tanga and get him to stop his assault. I'm hungry. Be a dear and take me to lunch right now, please? Lunch? Now? Can't you see I'm right in the middle of conquering Wonderworld? Well, I'm sorry I bothered you. If Mario were here, he'd take me to lunch. Ooh, dude, she's comparing you to her ex. That's never a good sign in a relationship. Topanga has Herman lead him to a nearby restaurant as Rick and Josh overhear them. Look, that guy's got a Game Boy! Oh, dude, I should so challenge him to a Pokemon battle. I have like an entire team of Mewtwo's. There's only one guy who can stop Topanga. Who? Hulk Hogan? Chuck Norris? No, Super Mario! Rick's reaction is the same as our own. A face palm and an, oh, give me a break. While Rick admits the possibility that aliens or something might be involved, he doesn't believe that video game characters are suddenly in the real world. It's not helped when Josh starts talking to his Game Boy. Look, Rick, look! 3 doors! There's only supposed to be 2! Let's try the extra door! Congratulations, Josh! You picked door number 3, and you win a new car!
Wrong game show.
No, suddenly a beam of light emits from his Game Boy, and Mario pops out of it, in hilariously mismatched art styles of the cartoony Mario against the more detailed-looking people next to them. And dear Lord, Josh looks really creepy here. Because the comic needed to be split into 2 parts due to some advertisement placed in the middle of the thing, we now enter part 2 of In the Palm of Your Hand, which is certainly the case for the pint-sized Mario. How did you get here? This dork? Oh, really? I think that if the time gets here, he must have opened up a dimensional warp zone. Well, I should point out this is actually kind of before Mario was given an official voice, so the writing here doesn't capture the stereotypical Italian accent. Friendly with the way he's talking, well, he should be from Brooklyn. But for simplicity's sake, we'll do the traditional Mario voice. The extra doors, who did them? All I had to do was get you there. So, could anybody's Game Boy do that? How did you even know there was an extra door there? What happens when you replay the game?
I filed down my toenail a little bit last night.
Endlessly repeating the same events over and over and over. The moment you introduce this concept, the video game world is real. You start bringing up these little plot holes.
Everything now.
Will you file it a little more for me?
Game Boy, also you're in
Like,
color.
just to smooth it out a little bit?
Black and white. You're getting reception all the way from Sarasa Land on that gadget, and you want it to be in color too? See the same Mario that's on the NES? That's a gadget that transmits in color. Years later, if somebody puts a Super Mario Land cartridge in a Game Boy Color, and if this is just a transmission, doesn't that mean that should be in full color too? This doesn't make any sense. Josh wants to go lead Mario to them, but Rick is reluctant.
Do you think I should take it off?
We're not allowed to go there alone.
You don't have to.
Do you want to take it off for me?
Kid, you're like
yeah, but you can
live
do it
in
right
New York.
Okay.
Cross
It'll take
there.
a while.
Into it. What is it? Desert? Chocolate? Frozen tundra? Worse. New York City. New York City. Because of New York and the World Trade Center towers. Well, I mean, this was made in 1990. There shouldn't be anything wrong. Later, an ominous dark cloud hovers above the renowned Twin Towers. Oh, sweet merciful crap. Mario and the kids head to the subway while we cut to Tower 1, where Topanga's forces demand food. They blast the Maitre D' and clear out the restaurant, save for the cooks and waiters. back to Mario and the kids, they encounter those antagonist forces, and Rick gets his ass handed to him by bees with spears.
What the